Now I know you and I discussed how we both have 3 kids. So why don't you, give me a little information about your kids and, their grades and what it's like to be a father, since we were talking about that.
All right, I'm going to put it in the perspective of the Democratic National Convention.
Okay.
All right, because here's 2 things that have come up. Number 1, my daughter is biracial. Okay, she's adopted, but she's biracial, and to her, I think it's very exciting not just to have an African American president, which represents part of who she is, to have a biracial president. Right? She's 16 years old. She's excited, and it's really the first presidential election she's been able to engage in, and what an incredible opportunity.
Absolutely.
Okay, amazing. My sons, who are biological, both white, they're 4 years old and 1 year old. My son Mason has a Barack Obama choke that he tells everybody that he meets, and you all can see it on YouTube if you go to the YouTube page where this video is located. And our 1 year old, every time he sees Barack Obama on my t-shirt or something, I don't know how, but he just points at him and just like makes ooh, ooh. He loves Barack Obama's face. Maybe it's the ears, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But here's something that has come up several times at this convention. I've been at a lot of events with young elected officials, and we've spent a lot of time talking about when you get involved in politics, how do you make the decision to actually run for office versus and with how much time that takes versus caring for your family and your kids. And Representative Kendrick Meeks from Florida, one of our outstanding young U.S. House of Representatives members, told me that he thinks it's the hardest personal decision that you make as a politician is how to divide that line between your political work and your family life. And you have to do that in conjunction with your partner. And the best thing he thought was you try and engage your kids into politics so they get the opportunity to go places and meet people and be a part of who you are and see you as a role model, as a father, as well as a politician.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So my last question for you is, if you could have one wish granted by President Obama, what would it be? What would you like to see?
That is an excellent question. I think my wish would be that President Obama could work across party lines and bring a level of unity and cooperation amongst the 2 parties, that he is able to foster the energy for us to really look at the things that draw us together and to be able to make a consensus so that we can work together on tackling the most pressing issues that we have, which revolve around healthcare. They revolve around getting our troops out of Iraq. They revolve around increasing the diplomacy around the world. And I think that if he is able to bring the unity that I believe that he can bring to, the Congress, the houses, and they can get together and not focus on what the ideologies, are different, but instead begin at a point where we all have everything in common. We all want our kids to be safe and be healthy. We all want to be safe within our country. We don't want to have to fight wars. We want to be respected throughout the world. And I think, if he's able to demonstrate that unity and pull together the members of Congress, the House of Representatives, and be an example of what cooperation is really all about, then we can tackle and, take care of the pressing issues so that your kids and my kids have an opportunity to live in a society, in a fantastic country, a dream country, and they're able to achieve their potential. And I think the first step is that we have to really work together and look at the things that we have in common and tackle these issues. So
that's a wonderful dream.
Amen.
Wonderful.
That would just be ideal, and I think we can actually pull it off.
I believe so.
I think we can actually pull it off. Now, my last question for you is, it's obvious that you've been very active, and you've been, drumming up support and enthusiasm in Chapel Hill. Do you have any plans, perhaps, to seek political office at some point in the future?
Well, given my conversation I had with Representative Meeks, it's something that I think about. It's not something that I see, would happen immediately, because right now, really my intention is to stay focused on my family, and I do good work every day in my professional life, and so I don't feel like I have to be a political candidate in order to make a difference in this world right now. But I also believe that it's important to do the most good for the largest number of people. And I've done activism, social work, nonprofit work, all kinds of ways to help people. But I do think that if you want to do the most good for the largest number of people, you've got to do it in politics. And that's why I'm here at the Democratic National Convention. Hey everybody, this is Geogre Chunn. Great interview. Another person that you ought to listen to. Look for him coming out of Wake County for some big things.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Right.